It is already pre-written. Section 43B, paid basis. What does this section says? The following are the expenses will be allowed on the paid basis and not on the accrual basis. The code is Beetle. You have heard of the car named Volkswagen Beetle. So replacing the Beetle spelling as Betil. Beetle. How to remember the paid basis expenses? Beetle. Beetle means B stands for bonus and commission. E stands for employer's contribution to approved funds. T was new for you all. This both you were aware of this. Okay. I have taught you all. This was there in section 36, and this was also there. I'm not able to recall now. No, this is also new to you all. Bonus and commission. So bonus and commission, taxes to the government. T stands for taxes to the government. This is also new to you all. Interest. I stands for interest on business loan from PFI, SFC, SIIC, SB. This was also there in section 36. So, and L stands for leave salary. So all these three, bonus and commission, taxes to the government, and leave salary, are new to you all. So this expenses will be allowed if actually paid, not on the accrual concept, that is not the book entries, then only such expenses will be allowed as deduction from the GP. Above mentioned expenses will be allowed during the year if incurred up to the date of filing return. However, if it is paid after the due date of filing return, then it is allowed as expenses in the relevant next previous year. So what does this say? If all these expenses incurred by the businessman, that is the SSC, in the relevant year, if he is a normal SSC whose books are not audited, then the filing return is, the date of filing return is 31st July 2016. So up to that date, the following expenses will be allowed on paid basis. But if on the other expenses which are on accrual basis, that will be allowed up to 31st March only, not up to the date of filing of return. Are you getting me? Don't get goofed over here, because this is quite messy for many students. However, if it is paid after the due date of filing return, then it is allowed as expenses in the relevant next previous year. Quite self-explanatory. I don't need to explain this part, but this part will be allowed up to the date of filing return, not other expenses. Are you getting it? I said of the normal part, that is 31st July 2016 will be for the normal SSC whose books are not getting audited. If the SSC's books are getting audited, then he'll get an extra period up to 30th September 2016. Are you getting me? Because his books are getting audited, so the government has given him the relief of filing the return up to 30th September 2016. They have given an extension. The period is extended from 31st July to 30th September. Okay, I hope this is clear for you all. Please pause the video and copy this much. I'm not doing well, but still I want to take the videos because time is constrained. I have given commitment to you all that I'll provide you costing and FM also. If I'll go with this speed, I won't be able to do. That's why I'm not wasting my time. I'm trying. At least I'm not feeling good these days, so then also I'm at least trying to upload 5 to 6 videos so that my backload gets little bit less. Once I get into my form, I feel good, then I'll be uploading 40 videos every day. So let's start now. Section 40A subsection 2. Section 40A subsection 2. What is this? Payment to relative. These are all miscellaneous section. If you want, please write on the heading miss sections. Shortcut for miscellaneous, miss sections. Payment to relatives. I have not taught you all salary first, so you all will not have a grip on the payment to relative. If you have learned salary before, then you will be having a grip on this. Payment to relatives. There are two parts. There is a chart for this. Payment to the relative up to market value. Up to what? Up to market value. The expenses will be allowed. because salary is a revenue expenditure. Salary comes under section 37 because salary, there was no specific section for salary. Okay. Excess of market value. Excess of market value. The expenses will not be allowed. So let's take which SSCs, which relatives will not be allowed. First, for individual, if the business is carried by an individual, then individual can be he or she. So for individual, husband / wife / father / mother / lenient ascendant / lineal descendant / spouse / brother / sister. If individual pay to all this relative at excess of market value, then such expenses will not be allowed as deduction for salary. Okay, payment might go as a salary, as a commission, then such expenses will not be allowed. If the business is a firm, then following other persons will be the relative, will be considered as relative, partners and their relative, and their relatives means above. Partner may have all these relatives also. So firm, infirm, partner and their relatives means above will not be allowed if the payment to the relative is done excess up to the market value, excess above the market value. If the business is a company, then directors and their relatives. This is quite self-explanatory. Directors and their relatives. Relatives means as mentioned here. That's it. The relatives are this much only. Please pause the video and copy. This is a condition, just a condition. You all don't need to memorize all this thing, okay? You just need to read it and should know which are the expenses will not be allowed. Just memorize. You don't need to memorize. Just take a glance and take a grip, because when you will be solving the sum, you will automatically get a grip of all these things, because in that there are adjustments on, there are particular adjustment given in the practice manual, and similar on the same line the questions will be coming in the exam. So don't worry. Please study practice manual properly. After reading my theory, please solve practice manual sums first. If you are going to any classes, I will be personally telling you all, please avoid the classes textbook to solve first. First solve practice manual, because if you have a similar sum, that if your classes textbook have a similar sum with the practice manual, then take all the three books, practice manual, classes textbook and the notes that you have taken from the classes, and start solving the sum seeing the practice manual and your classes notebook, not the classes textbook and the classes notes. Okay, then you will get a grip how to present as per the institute. Then you will know how to do it. You can do it on your own also. You don't need to depend on everyone for every small thing. These are all small things. These are all big things for you all right now, because after exam you will find all these things are small, because doing all this work takes a lot of time for a student. Because if you are making the notes on yourself, then it will take a huge time to you all to complete all these notes. For writing, first you have to draft a note, you have to think how to write, how to make it easy, how to do this, how to do that. That is quite time consuming, so that's why you need someone's help, but don't depend completely on someone. Okay, so let's revise this first again. Payment to relative. If payment to the relative is made up to the market value, which is the normal rate for all the individual other than relatives also, expenses will be allowed. But if excess of market value is done, expenses will not be. The entire expenses will not be allowed. If the question says if 10,000 more is paid, then 10,000 more expenses will not be allowed. If the question does not specify how much excess is paid, then you have to take the entire expenses as excess paid. Okay, assuming that the question is telling the expenses which are excessively paid, not the entire expenses. Okay, the following are the relatives if the business is carried by an individual: husband, wife. Individual's relatives are husband, wife, father, mother, lineal ascendant, lineal descendant, spouse, brother, sister. If in case of a business is a firm, partner and their relatives means this above. Company director and the relatives means all this above: husband, wife, father, mother, lineal ascendant, lineal descendant, spouse, brother, sister. That's it.